So the last thing I want to do for this little presentation is to think about sound. I consider myself a historian of music and sound. I think oftentimes our histories are quite deaf. We don't prioritize what people heard, let alone the music that they listened to or danced to. And so not only do I love to think about sound historically, I also love to go to museums and sites like Heart Mountain and listen to the spaces of the history that I study. And on top of that, I'll go around and I'll take this field recorder and like a microphone, and I'll just knock on, let's say, the barrack that's at Heart Mountain and capture some of those sounds of the wood, or feet scraping on gravel, or running your hand through the sagebrush in the area, or the natural ambient sound. I love sitting with the actual sounds of these places, and then as a musician, what I do is I turn these sounds into rhythm tracks. So I'll load them into this little keyboard, which takes these musical samples, and then I can play them out on the keyboard and I can make beats. I love to use like these effects pedals. I find them to not only be good for manipulating sound and taking the sound of a Heart Mountain barrack and make it into something more musical. Sonic effects world, you have like a guitar signal, just a clean signal, it goes through and it gets affected through all these different kinds of pedals and stuff. I'm really interested how those same sort of effects as metaphor can be used to think about a story.
That I love, don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in.
I also find that sonic effects are really interesting metaphors for the historian, to think about the past. So in my research, I take a lot of stories from people who lived in the 1940s. How are those affected as they went from that experience of life in the 1940s to me, and then what do I write? It helps me maybe be a more honest historian, to say, well, we had that clean signal, that moment of lived experience in 1942. But then when it gets all the way to me in 2020, what has it gone through? How many times has it been looped? Has it been filtered? Or has fuzz been applied to it? Has it been warped and chorused in any ways? Meaning multiple signals kind of like leaving each other from that first clean signal. Have we lost any of the integrity of the signal, of the story? I think a lot about reverberation and echo. Like, all the historian does is try to make sense of the echoes. The echoes and the reverberations around these histories. So I find these really useful. I don't know if I'm explaining myself that well. But then on top of it, to then have these sounds and have these effects laid out in front of me and make songs with those effects, I don't know. I think it's cool. I can't quite articulate what it does, but it helps me out as both a musician and a historian, and I'll leave you with some music. Then we'll do like a Q&A.
You'll never know. 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 Never know. You'll never get it. Oh no, family. 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 Oh no, family.
There are no bridges to the past. Don't fool yourself as you look back. The time is up, those years are gone. You have for now, but not for long. Pass it on and pass it by. Kiss me goodnight.
You'll never know. You'll never know.